Hi everyone, it's Marcy, and today I want to show you a viewer request to show you how I made these little flip booklets. This is not an original idea. I learned this from Pam at the Paper Outpost. She called them Concertina folders, I believe, but they're just made like an accordion. So I probably will just call it a little accordion flip out. I do mine a little differently than she did hers, but you can do it however you want. What you're going to need is 4 cards. You can use playing cards. On these, I actually use Trivial Pursuit cards. Today, I'll be using playing cards. If you don't have those, you could use index cards. Anything you want. You'll need 4 to do this. All right. So now using a playing card, it's got that plasticky surface on it. So what I did was I took my card and just lightly scuffed the surface. I want it to have a little bit of tooth to be able to grab the glue and paper and ink and whatever I may put on it. So I lightly sand my cards and then wipe them off. All right. So that's the first thing I do. Now I've got 4 cards that I already did that to. So I'm going to move this aside. And then the next thing I did was tear a little sheet, a little bit off of this. I'm going to be making kind of a mess today, so let's see. And then I took some acrylic gesso. Let's get the full one, or fuller one. Just a little bit of acrylic gesso. Even that little dollop is going to be too much for this card, but that's okay. And you can use a card to apply the gesso. I'm just using my finger. And in my case, the only purpose for me doing this really is to knock back the graphic on the card a little bit. I don't care if it's completely gone. You could do a few coats of gesso if you wanted it completely gone. I don't care about that. I just want it knocked back a little bit. Okay, so I did that to all 4 of my cards. Then and you only have to do that on one side of the card. It doesn't need to be done on both sides. Okay. Then I took my gessoed cards and I actually wanted to play a little bit. So, I am using some Tim Holtz Distress Oxide Weathered Wood. And I'm just putting it out on my glass mat, a little bit of it. Spritz a little water. And I'm picking it up on my card. Okay, you can see I've got that. Now I've got the paper I was using when I was getting stuff ready. my paper to pick up my excess ink. And then I'm going to use a little bit of the peacock feathers. Excuse me, that's my iron clicking. I'm going to unplug it real quick. Alright, I'm back. So I've got the peacock feathers. Now, ideally, I would let this weathered wood dry before I started adding the peacock feathers. And I'll be doing this distress oxide thing again probably within the next week or so on some other stuff I'm doing. But this is what I'm doing for the set of the accordion folder I'm making today. So then just pick up some of my peacock feathers and set that aside and let it dry. And where can I pick up? All right. I like the way my pickup paper is looking. Okay, so to move this along, I did some of these ahead of time as well. Okay. So I've got my 4 cards here. After I put the distress or the oxide ink on them and let them dry. And then, where is it? These two you can see are already a little different. I just took some of my vintage photo distress ink and dirtied them up a bit. And I went ahead and distressed my edges. Okay, so I've got my 4 cards. The backs, although they're sanded, they're plain. And these are the fronts. I don't know with the distress oxide. I hope you can see it on camera. You can still look at that and see that it is a plain card. It's just knocked back, colored over. Okay. So now, I don't know why I've got that way at the top of the screen. Let's pull that back down so you can actually see. All right, so the next step is you want some washi tape. And I'm going to use a little glue with my washi tape. All right, I'm going to take 2 cards. And I want them to be even. Basically, we're going to make a little hinged booklet type thing with these 2 cards. Okay? And on the inside, so I want to leave a little bit of a gap between the 2 cards. Doesn't have to be a huge gap, but you also don't have to work super hard. I didn't get that real straight, but that's okay. All right, and I'm going to do the same thing to these 2 cards. I didn't glue the washi tape. I said I was going to, and I didn't. I think on these I will. I'll probably go back and come on. Of course, when I turn the camera on, then my art glitter glue doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. Just a little thin line to be sure my washi tape stays. That is not straight. Well, I'm having the all right. That will do. I'm just going to glue these on the edge right there. All right. Now, okay, so when we put our accordion together, these will fold this way. And right here, where these two meet, that will be the side that folds in up. So on here, I've got the washi tape there, and I've got fabric right here. I've got fabric on the up part. The reason for that is so that you don't get bulky in your gutter. So I use washi tape there and fabric here, basically on the outside, washi tape on the inside. Okay, so where's my, I don't have my Fabri-Tac back here, so I'll have to use my art glitter glue. Okay, so I'm going to run my art glitter glue. I would honestly suggest, if you have it, use your Fabri-Tac. Mine's in the other room. So again, you'll want a little bit of a gap. And there's your fabric. Now I'm going to cut this off. Trim it at the top. I'm all fiddly today. Okay. Now I'm going to flip my cards over. I'll go ahead and fold my washi tape down. And on this side, I'm going to cover this side with coffee dyed paper. Just one sheet of coffee dyed paper all the way across. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue down. That. Flip it over. Lay it down, then I can flip it back over and work with it. Use my card to burnish it down. I hope everybody's having a good day today. It's really warm here today. It's wonderful. We're supposed to have a high of 81, and which is a huge change for us. It's been really cool and damp and rainy. Okay, so now, as you can see, I'm just cutting away my excess paper. All right. Now I'm going to gently fold these over. And remember, the piece with the fabric will fold this way. And this one will fold this way. So fold those over, give them a gentle squish. And then we're going to go back. Notice on this side, you've got 2 ups and 1 down. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our washi tape on this side. We're going to put our washi tape on this side as the down. And we're going to put our fabric on this one. And the fabric I'm using is about 1/2 inch wide is all. So it really does not take a large strip of fabric at all. So I've got my fabric here. And do the same thing on this side. So I've got my fabric here. And again, I'm going to gently fold. This is going to need more glue. which even as I was doing it, I was pretty sure that it would. Okay. And I'm going to ignore here. This is what happens when you try to get in a hurry. It ends up taking twice as long. All right, I think my fabric is good now. Okay, so that is the very basics of your accordion folder. So I've got 2 strips of fabric here for the outer, what would be considered the spine, and then washi tape in the gutter. That way we don't have, our gutter doesn't get too bulky. On this side, again, fabric on my spine with washi tape in my gutter pieces. And that honestly is the simplest way to make that. So then what I'm going to do, that is the crux of making it. Then you just decorate however you want to. I'm going to be using, I've picked some stuff out. Let's see. That. Actually, I think I'll do that. Okay, I wanted that one there. And I'm using, these little images are from Dear Julie Digital Kit, A Day in the Life. And these, here's my hair oil, little advertisements are from Tsunami Rose. Except this one, which is Dear Julie's sewing kit. What did I have? Oh. Okay, but before I do that, I'm going to use, just to add a little more texture, I'm going to use, this is Stampers Anonymous Fragments stamps, and I'm going to use just a little bit, just for a little added extra texture here and there. Now I'm going to put this lady who I can't tell really what, but she's folding something. I can't tell if it's to go in a suitcase or a trunk or what it is, but then I've got a little advertisement for Trebles shirts. So I'm going to put that down there. That. And here we've got a lady fixing her hair in the mirror. And here I have some rose hair oil. So I thought those would go good together. There. And put our rose hair oil right there. And here we've got a lady sewing, perhaps doing some darning, with a 25-cent stitch ripper by mail. So we're going to put her right there. Stitch ripper right there. And here we've got a lady in the bathroom. I see a tub and a sink. I don't know. So I've got some toilet soaps and extracts to go with that. Let's see. I think that to be up there. All right, so now when you open this up, I'm going to trim this edge just a bit. So now when you open this up, you've got interesting little advertisements to look at. Okay, so then we go to the outside. Now, this, when I open this up, this is on the right side. But that will be the cover. That will be what people see first. And then on mine, what I've done is I've pretty well, for the most part, left these blank just for some writing space. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, on that one, I think I want that. We've got a mom at the table with her two kids. So I think I want that right there with some Frank seedlets, pure fresh milk. And again, I'm going to use my stamp just to do a little random stamping. I won't do as much on this side just because, like I said, I want to leave writing space, but I do want to have some continuity. So, all right, so I'm going to glue down the mother with her children at the table. And all children, of course, need some pure, fresh milk. And on these, where did it go? I had one more. Maybe not. Maybe I just did the two. Okay. Oh. Let's see. I think on there. Here we've got a woman. She's carrying something, but for the life of me, there's a clock behind her. For the life of me, I can't tell what that is. I think I'll just stick that in the corner, which leaves plenty of writing space there. And here we've got C. Brandauer and Company circular pointed pens, writing pens, which I thought was appropriate for the side that you might be writing on. So I think I'll just put that one right there in the middle. Still have plenty of space to journal around it. And this one is for Whelpton's Vegetable Purifying Pills, established 1835. I'm guessing it must be a laxative or have a laxative effect. Okay. So there we go. So now we open it up. So I've got that. Open it up, pull it out, and you've got lots of things to look at. Flip it over. You can journal here. You can basically journal all the way across the back. So the only thing left to do is a closure. I'll try one more time to get my fumbly fingers to see if I can actually get this tied. Still think I'd rather the fabric be a hair shade longer, but I did manage to get it. So there you go. There is your little accordion flip out. And like I said, with a closure like this, you could just slide it off and then back on if you wanted to. So that is, like I said, the idea originally came from Pam at the Paper Outpost. She called it a Concertina folder. And this is my take on the Concertina folder. And I'm calling it an accordion flip out. So That's all I have for now. I hope you have a wonderful day. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.